I got my AirPods. No, I got my ear plugs. These are the plugs. The other ones, the pods that are without the wire, the wireless. I've gone wireless. I tell my sister in Buffalo why they want to get rid of the phones the way they do with the in-ground underground cable, which would still work even if all the electricity went out. Your phone would still work, but not with the ones we're using now, not the portable ones. Why? Because they require satellites and batteries and charging, and the phone may not work because it's not connected to anything that's going to receive it well. But that one under the ground, that AT&T, which was the original company before Singular bought the name, you know that, right? But the original company they put the wire across the Atlantic from New York to London to begin with, and the cable, right? And they also, incidentally, they were the first ones to launch a satellite commercially after the Sputnik and the U.S. government. But back to the story. So your phone that you have in the house that has a wire underneath the ground, that still works real good. And you can make calls on it all the time. It's copper, and they don't want that because copper is very expensive. So Verizon, which has Fios, which is digital and some sort of a mysterious name, they have this thing that they don't want to have your calls on the wire going into a terminal where they have to pay for people to work the terminals. That's why. So that's why they got rid of the underground stuff. They were really happy to get rid of the union and everybody else that was costing them a lot of money. That's the truth. The truth. Okay, we don't like to tell the truth a lot because it's not entertaining. Truth is that even with O.J. Simpson, we dragged that out for a year. It was a great story for a year and a great court drama. It was a soap opera, although we knew he killed 3 people. But this is the way it goes when you have a triple homicide. It's not entertaining to me, but America's made it entertaining. Look at all the crime shows we have. I'm not talking about the CSIs. I'm talking about the ones where we have the cold cases, because now we have some sort of an identification in our DNA, and we can go back and say, okay, he did it because he matches that blood, or she. No, speaking of he and she, this is that push for women. Why are women trying to be like men? I understand where women, if they do a job and they can do it very well, they should be paid the same as everybody else, as men command. I was going to say that women doing basketball games, it's not my favorite thing. I don't like the calls of women doing football. I just don't like the sound. It's unappealing to me. I don't like the sound of it. It's like some guy on helium. That's just me. Now, there was a woman surfer who broke the world record. Well, congratulations. And there's tennis players, and there's this, and there's that. What's the point? I mean, I'm not going to stop being who I am because someone else is going to be up to my standard, if I have one. I've lowered my standard. And I will not be such a champion of women being different than men or better than men or being the same as men. I don't know that whole issue because I don't have multiple orgasms. If I had that, boy, I'd be excited. And I would not want to give childbirth. I don't like labor pains, but management pains are okay. I've had enough of those. Anyhow, bad pun. But this whole this disastrous world we live in, let me give you a clue to how you are successful or can be successful if you are a black person. You have to know someone. It's all about relationships. We used to say that, who do you know? That's how you get ahead. There's nobody ever got ahead. The Italians formed a mob so that we could have a community. Otherwise, we weren't able to get our own way. Irishmen did it. Jews do it. Even the birds do it. Everybody congregates because you have to go after somebody who is going to be like you to get things done, or who have the same goal as you do. So it's a relationship. So black people want to get ahead. You want to make money, you got to do what everybody else does, which is to know somebody. You got to know somebody. And it's not what you do, it's who you know. And that's the truth of the matter. If you don't like that one, try to change it. I don't think you're going to be able to change that one. Relationships are the one thing that outperforms a resume and big money. It really does. I mean, if you know somebody and they know you, you're going to be in the family. It's got nothing to do with your ability sometimes. So that's it. Just get wise. And black people who are right now enjoying this great coverage of the issue, I don't like the issue so much because not because I'm afraid or I'm not really I don't really care about color. I can say that unabashedly. I don't care about color. I care about personality. I care about good manners. I don't care what color you are. You could have a fork sticking out of your nose. I don't care. I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you're from. I don't care about anything except if you're going to treat me right. And if you're gonna have a good relationship with me, you better just be stop pushing for everything. I hate pushing for everything. I hate it. I hated it when kids used to come to my show with their parents and the stage moms, we call them. They would come and they want their kids to be successful because they weren't. And we all come from dysfunctional families. What are you talking about? This is a dysfunctional country. It was started by killing the Indians. What are you talking about, dysfunction? Everybody has that story. This is not new. And why are we highlighting it like, I had a bad childhood. You don't know what my parents did to me. Yeah. Well, what happened? Why are you rich and famous? And why am I hearing your story? You're on television right now. What are you talking about? You've made some achievements. I hope your goal has been to be a better person instead of being rich. But that's a goal for me. I mean, I'm healthy, and I'm happy to have the health. I'm happy to have the experience I've had, and I'm happy to give it away and share it. That's what I'm doing. Otherwise, what do I have to do is sit here and tell you all this for? I could just take my retirement and go home. But this is not what we're doing in America. We're trying to help each other in a sane way. And we've had too much time on our hands from this pandemic. This is 6 months of prison for all of us. I feel like I've been waterboarded by the Chinese. And they did this. They could have stopped this a long time ago. They could have told us earlier. We could have done something earlier. We didn't. They didn't. And here we are. So we got 6 months of this crap so far. And how's it end? I'll tell you how it ends. It ends on a dead-end street with a cul-de-sac. That's how it ends. Nobody knows. And the thing we've done with the planet, did you watch that thing on 60 Minutes with Edinburgh, who has won so many awards doing his stories, which you probably have seen one or many of them, on nature? He's got a new one coming out that really condemns all of us for being bad tenants on the planet. We're bad citizens, We haven't taken good care of this planet. You know that, right? So why don't we work on that part? And let's get, for heaven's sake, a hydrogen car. I drove one for 6 months. I put every major star I had on my show on that car. It was built by General Motors. It got killed by the Obama administration because General Motors came in and wanted a bailout. They came in for money. They weren't going to support some sort of a project that wasn't proven or profitable. So the government didn't want to put any more money into the hydrogen car. The hydrogen car is water. And it's not an unsafe fuel. That's not why the Hindenburg blew up. It wasn't the gas from the helium that blew it up, or the hydrogen rather. It was the poor mechanics that was done in Germany when Hitler wanted to show off and send a spaceship over here. That's what happened. And it hit Lakehurst and exploded. It was poor mechanics. But the hydrogen in a car is perfect. I had Peter Bogdanovich, the director, wonderful guy. Also Judith Reagan, publisher of all the private parts and the Howard Stern stuff and her own company. And Willis Pyle, who was the last living Disney animator, did Pinocchio, Snow White, and Bambi. I'll tell you, he was thrilled. And he also worked on the monorail for Disney, which goes around. But that's diesel fuel. And he said, that's too bad we don't have the hydrogen around the park. It's too bad we don't run all of our cars. Some of the vehicles are hydrogen. And it's rare because it's more expensive. That's why. You have to have an investment. This Elon Musk, he's investing in electric. But I would not. Electric still gives off something that's unfavorable to the environment, but not as bad as gasoline, with the oil. And everybody's afraid they're going to lose the oil business, and then we won't have any fuel because they're going to get mad at us in under the those desert countries. It's economics. It's always about who's making money and who's got the deal, who's got the power. So that one. Now we go back to the black issue. Who do you know? That's it. It's a Reynolds wrap.